So I would like to ask my Berlin speakers to come to stage, and maybe the same for you in Montreal. So could you join me here on the stage? And I'm just taking questions now, no other presentations. Please take your seat, and happy to take your questions before we go on a break. So that was a lot of input, many different sides on the topic of our day. And Vera, maybe I can just see in Montreal at the moment the empty podium. Please give me a signal when you can hear me and when you're ready. Yeah, now we see everybody. That's great. So do we have a question to our speakers here in Berlin? Then I'm happy to bring you the microphone. And same over in Montreal. And if we don't get questions, I take this as a clear signal that you all need caffeine. But here we go.
Maybe also an idea to ask questions to stay awake. I'm Alex Kaptein, Airbus. Quick question to the entrepreneurial colleagues. How do you deal with all these regulations? You clearly said regulation versus rapid prototyping, that's the ultimate contradiction. So how can you make business with AI looking into that regulatory environment?
And that goes concretely to who? Okay, here in Berlin. That was a pleasure. Question from Berlin to Berlin.
Okay, thanks for the question. Yeah, it's not a sprint; it's a marathon. From our point of view, rapid prototyping is for the test cases or for the tests in the first step enough, yeah, to show okay that's our way forward. But we have the V model as well. Yeah, it's the normal development style, the normal research and development style, and at the end. Actually, we don't make business. Actually, we search for investors. If you have money, come to us. Yeah, you're very welcome. But serious, we face it the same challenges like Airbus or other developers in this drone development, and our view with the helping of the firefighters and firefighting is the business bringer at the end. Some areas raising the hand and say, bring out the stuff, we want to pay it, we want to sell it, we want to help to sell, and then at the end the business.
Thank you. Ferdinand, you also wanted to comment? You have your own mic here.
Yeah, saying it in a completely similar way. For us, we have the advantage of being a design office. That makes a few things a little bit easier, but we need to align with the processes and with the provided by the International Civil Avionic Institution, and we need to face the regulation on EU level. We need to have the EASA. We need to cover their requirements. And that's how we have to work with that. We have to apply the processes for that.
Thank you. Vera, I see our podium over in Montreal. Hello, everybody. And do you see questions from the audience? Vera?
Hi, Alex. This is Matthias. I would like to ask a short question to Professor Niculescu. I became aware of the MISLab that you introduced on one of your slides, and this reminded me a little bit of what the German Artificial Intelligence Center, DFKI, that is also going to present during the afternoon is doing. I was wondering if you're in contact with DFKI in Germany. That is a question to you and maybe also to Dr. Vögel, who's going to speak later.
Certainly, I know the director of the MIST lab is he's planning, for instance, to make a sabbatical in Germany next year. It is already approved, so he will be there collaborating with some universities, and certainly he will visit AI Center. He is also professor associated with Mila Laboratory, so I'm sure there are connections. Probably he is in contact also with AI German Center. Officially, our department is not in contact with this center, but we would like to a lot, if possible, to see more about the different expertise and how we can collaborate.
Yeah, maybe Dr. Vögel can comment on this later in his presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have another question here in Berlin? Thank you, Matthias. Not that I see right now. Vera, over there.
Introduce myself. Yeah, my name is Oliver Pape. I'm from the German Aerospace Center, Washington office. A question to CAE and ICAO. Quite interesting to say make training, maybe even operations, kind of data source for training AI algorithms and so forth. But what about? I mean, you all mentioned. Every speaker mentioned privacy and data protection and so forth. But what if you detect kind of, let's say, deficits from the pilots or from the operator while you use these data? How do you deal with that? Because I know that unions or the individuals are not really willing to be so fully transparent, and that not all of their moves and their activities is analyzed. So how do you deal with that? And making use of these opportunities, you know, to better monitor performances and behaviors.
Actually, I'm going to be a lot more higher level than yours. So if I may start, so I think here we're talking about a hypothetical situation, but it will be regulated anyways, like capturing data without citizens' consent is not considered as best practice in general, and there are already a number of national frameworks that cover this, and this is not related to aviation. So I think what is very important for us to keep in mind, and this is what we are also considering in our work at ICAO, is that a lot of AI-related questions will be solved outside of the aviation sector. So it's very important for us to stay in connection with those decisions and those rules, but those, like, there will always be specific applications, but the ground rules will not be set in aviation, especially when it comes to data privacy, confidentiality, IP rights. These are common problems across the economy, across the sector, and there will not be a dedicated aviation regulation that will be inconsistent with anything that exists whatsoever.
And I can say that this is important, and certainly we have teams and committee making sure that we do the right thing, working with our customers and with the regulator. That's always work in progress, but we make sure that privacy, security, it is a must. It is, we cannot skip, and we make sure we do the right thing.
Privacy against safety, right? I mean, if you analyze performance of pilots or other operators, and you detect there are deficits, and there is, of course, privacy that you are not able to react on that. How would you, let's say, solve that the problem?
This is an excellent question.
Absolutely,
and I don't have this answer. I think all together with our customers, with regulators, and you know, as we need to see what's the best between privacy and safety, and that's exactly an important balance. But today we must be compliant with privacy and security of information, right? And the discussions needs to continue with regards to this compared to safety, I guess. But that's, unfortunately, that's the best answer I can give.
Thank you very much. I think it's time to take a break now. So a big applause in Montreal and here in Berlin for our speakers and for everybody else. Thank you.